Hey friends, today for social studies we're going to talk more about Black History Month, and I want to know if you know who is Barack Obama. Barack Obama is an American politician. He was our 44th president and served for 2 terms, which is a whole 8 years, from 2009 to 2017. He was the first African American to serve as president of the United States. Let's watch this video.
Ugh, why did we choose to visit D.C. on the snowiest day of the year? My ears are about to freeze off. Lucky.
I wish I had earmuffs that
Dear
came out
Tim
of
and
my
Moby,
head.
can you tell us about our 44th president, Barack Obama? From Zach. Sure, Zach. Barack Hussein Obama was elected president in 2008. It is a unique name, and it reflects his remarkable background. His mom was from Kansas, and his dad came from a small village in the East African nation of Kenya. They fit right into the diverse culture of Hawaii, where Obama was born in 1961. To this day, he credits his home state with shaping his political views. Its open, tolerant culture can be seen in Obama's governing style. Throughout his career, he sought to forge compromises between opposing points of view, but he governed at a time of growing partisanship, fighting between political parties that gets in the way of getting stuff done. Obama first made a name for himself by speaking out against partisanship. He was a guest speaker at the 2004 Democratic National Convention, the big get-together where the party chooses its presidential candidate. Most people had never heard of Obama. He was a brand new senator from Illinois, but he spoke stirringly of his vision for the nation. Political differences were starting to tear the country apart. Americans seemed to be splitting into increasingly hostile camps. In Washington, Republicans and Democrats could find almost no common ground. Obama reminded Americans that their shared values were far stronger than any divisions. Viewers were captivated by his energy and optimism. The wave of enthusiasm carried him to the Democratic Party's nomination for president in 2008. Running on the themes of hope and change, Obama outlined a bright vision for the country and sharply contrasted himself with the sitting president, George W. Bush. Bush was waging a war in Iraq that many Americans had come to see as a mistake, and his administration was plagued by scandal after scandal. Obama promised a government that was more responsive to ordinary folks, and not so focused on war and anti-terror efforts. Most of all, he wanted to change the tone in Washington. He said he'd bring Republicans and Democrats together to get stuff done. Yep, Obama won in a landslide, becoming the first African-American president, and the Democrats picked up majorities in both houses of Congress. That gave the party a solid mandate, the backing of the people, to fix America's problems. A financial panic earlier in the year had set off a worldwide recession or economic slowdown. Jobless rates soared, and millions of people lost their homes. In response, Democrats pushed an economic relief plan through Congress. The stimulus cut taxes and pumped hundreds of billions of dollars into the economy. And a loan to GM and Chrysler kept America's auto industry afloat. As things stabilized, Obama and his allies in Congress focused on social issues. They lifted the military's ban on LGBT service members and strengthened laws to help women get equal pay at work. But the centerpiece of their efforts was health care reform. Millions of Americans couldn't afford medical insurance. That meant they often had to go without basic health care, and if they ever needed something serious, it could bankrupt them. Fixing this problem had long been a goal of the Democratic Party. So in 2010, Congress narrowly passed the Affordable Care Act, and Obama signed it into law. Though its passage was a huge victory, it also became a potent weapon against him. Republicans fiercely opposed what they called Obamacare. They argued that it was too expensive and that they'd been shut out of the process. But mixed in with that criticism were a lot of false reports, like that the law would establish so-called death panels, government employees deciding who would and wouldn't get life-saving medicine. Some lies were aimed at Obama himself. Biased news stories implied that he wasn't an American citizen, that he was planning to revoke our constitutional rights, and that he was secretly a Muslim. Right, like that's something to be ashamed of in the first place. These fake stories had begun when Obama was running for president. But they picked up steam during his first term, fueling the rise of the Tea Party. This was a new wing of the Republican Party. They wanted to cut government spending on health care and other social programs. Energized by Tea Party voters, Republicans took back the House of Representatives in 2010. Their stated mission, repeal the Affordable Care Act and do everything possible to oppose Obama. Denying him victories in Congress would hurt his chances for re-election. Despite this resistance, Obama achieved some major goals. He oversaw the mission to kill Osama bin Laden, the chief planner of the 9/11 terrorist attack. That same year, he ended the war in Iraq and began reducing forces in Afghanistan. Through all the pressures of his first term, he never seemed to show any signs of stress. Supporters started calling him No Drama Obama. He easily won his re-election bid in 2012. Unfortunately, Obama's relationship with Congress only grew more strained. Senate Republicans blocked his nomination for judges and other important posts. And each year, he tangled with the House over the federal budget. Within Congress, there was gridlock and inability to pass laws on the major problems of the day. Immigration, gun violence, climate change, all of these issues went unaddressed. So in his second term, Obama used the power of the presidency to act on his own. Well, like forging a deal with Iran to halt its nuclear weapons program, and protecting the children of undocumented immigrants from being deported. Meanwhile, Obama's steady economic leadership was bearing fruit. By the end of 2016, the stock market had tripled in value from when he took office, and unemployment sank as Americans returned to work. Plus, more people than ever could afford health insurance. Well, no, there's stuff to criticize, too. Obama extended the power of the presidency in some scary ways, like increasing the use of drones to kill suspected terrorists, and using federal agencies to spy on and pressure journalists. Even if you trusted Obama with these powers, what about the next president and the one after that? He'd also been faulted for that no-drama style of his. Some say that if he'd been more confrontational, it might have helped the situation in the Middle East. Under his administration, war and unrest spread throughout the region. Millions of people fled their countries, becoming refugees. On the home front, a lot of Obama's supporters wish he'd taken a tougher stand with Congress. If he'd called them out for blocking his agenda, maybe he could have gotten more done. True, he was elected on the promise of easing partisanship, not joining in on the fight. But maybe Washington, and the rest of the country, wasn't ready for it. In 2016, Republicans kept their hold on Congress, and won the presidency as well. They're still committed to rolling back Obamacare and other projects of his. That makes it difficult to judge Obama's legacy. I think people will remember his steady leadership through troubled times. He may not have changed the tone in Washington, but he set an example of civility, even with bitter opponents. Anyway, now I'm freezing and thirsty. Think we can go get some hot chocolate? Gee, thanks.
So efficient. Oh. That was for Tim. Silly Moby. That Moby's always so silly, isn't he? Some fun facts about Barack Obama are: he promised his daughters, Malia and Sasha, that the family would get a dog if he was elected president. And since he was elected president, there's a picture of him on that slide playing with the dog. The dog's name is Bo. He's a Portuguese water dog. He does not like ice cream. He blames it on a job he had at Baskin-Robbins as a teenager. He is a comic book collector. Obama's favorite comic character is Spider-Man. And his favorite teams are the Chicago Bears for football and the Chicago White Sox for baseball. He likes to play basketball and is an avid sports fan. Ooh, avid. We know that word when we talk about avid readers. That means pretty good, right? He can speak Indonesian and some Spanish. Wow. I know some of our friends can speak Spanish. I don't know anyone who knows how to speak Indonesian, though. He has read all of the Harry Potter books, and he has eaten some interesting things. Well, interesting and I think kind of gross. He's eaten things like grasshoppers and snake. And that's all I have on Obama. Tomorrow we will learn about another famous African American for Black History Month. Have a good day, friends.